some people may question it, your family or friends or even your co-freelancers, but don't let them dictate what you can do for yourself. Like, what empire can you build in a year or months? Kasi whenever we are like, okay, I know what I want, I know why I want it, but sometimes we stop in our journey kasi there are so many voices in our surroundings, in our environment, but the only voice that you need to listen is yourself. Yeah, the only voice or the only vision that you need to focus is your own vision.
Welcome to Spill the Creativity Podcast, the podcast where we will be having conversations with other creatives that will inspire us, keep us encouraged, and push us to reach our own goals. This is the place where we will be acknowledging the hard truths because while this path is fulfilling, the truth is there's no easy way to do things. It all takes hard work. We are going to be talking about the good and the bad about choosing a creative career. If you're looking for a cup of stimulation for creatives, a warm cup of tea in this otherwise bittersweet pursuit, then you're in the right place. So let's get that cup of tea and get on with the conversation. Oh my gosh, Hannah, thank you so much for joining me today, finally. To everybody who doesn't know, Hannah and I have been online friends for almost 2 years now.
Yeah, 2 years. Amazing.
I never knew that I could make friends here. And here we are on this podcast. So yay. So to everybody who doesn't know who you are, apart from being my friend, Hannah is also a social media strategist and she is also a coach for online service providers. And I'm going to leave the rest of the introductions to you. Let people know what you do, who you're serving, and anything else that they need to know about you.
Super excited to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me in your podcast. My name is Hannah. I'm a social media strategist for scaling female coaches. And at the same time, I'm a business and lead gen mentor to online service providers.
Before you became a mentor and a social media manager, I knew that you came from corporate. How long have you started your freelance gig? And what inspired you to transition from corporate to full-time freelancer?
Siguro nag 2 years muna ako sa corporate before I actually dive in sa freelancing. So 1 year siya nung 9 to 5, like as an internal auditor dito sa Philippines. And then another 1 year sa online job naman. Pero 9 to 5 pa din siya. And then just from last year, siguro November 2021, exactly 1 year ngayon, tsaka ako nag-transition as a full-time freelancer. And nag-start siya before kasi di ba nag-pandemic nung 2020. So I was like looking for a job na pwede kayang like kumita na hindi ka lalabas kasi parang takot na takot tayong lumabas before nung nag-pandemic. And I was thinking then na yung sasahurin ko dun sa company na yon parang mapupunta lang siya sa transportation ko. So parang nagdadalawang isip ako na just to fund my travel expense. So yun yung time na nag-search na ako online na ano kayang mga online jobs yung pwede hanggang sa nakita ko yung ads ni Demi Bernice. So doon talaga siya nag-start. I was seeing her ads na parang you can earn 6 digits working from home. Yung ads niya nga doon is like 100,000 per month. And then to me that time, parang it's just a dream. Parang sabi ko, gusto ko rin nun. Like, di ba yung salary natin sa company as a Filipino, nagre-range lang siya ng 18,000 to 25 mataas na yun. And nung nakita ko yung parang, talaga ba, 6 digits, tapos 100K per month. So parang doon ako nagkaroon ng interest na pwede naman pala yun. So I enrolled in her course and then doon na siya nag-start lahat hanggang sa nag-venture na ako to become a social media manager.
Based on your sharing kanina, you were an internal auditor. So meaning your background is really in accountancy, correct?
Yeah. Accountancy, accounting audit, mga ganun yung mga ginagawa ko. So parang out of nowhere, biglang, like ano yung freelancing? Wala akong anything na background, wala akong business. Like meron kaming background when it comes to business, marketing, and sales. Pero yun yung part lang siya ng mga minor subjects namin nung college. Pero hindi siya yung parang pinaka-focus namin when we start working sa corporate. So parang nung nag-dive ako sa freelancing, parang everything was new to me. So parang kailangan ko mag-start from scratch versus yung parang, okay, may idea na ako kung paano to nag-work. Parang ganon.
So, in your younger years, like during college or high school, did you ever see yourself as somebody who is creative? Kasi parang the way I would see it, social media management requires a lot of creativity. And parang if you say parang internal auditor and social media manager, sobrang layo niya talaga. But
Yeah.
I was wondering, have you always been like interested with the creatives, or parang is that something that you dabbled before, or parang out of nowhere you just gained interest in it?
Yeah, siguro yung pinaka-first experience ko was back when I was in high school. So, ewan ko if ako lang yung taong ganun. Like, super, siguro dahil din sa training namin nung high school and college. Puro kasi kami like, thesis, business plan, marketing, sales, mga ganun kasi yung sa industry namin. So, nung high school ako, yung mga interest ko talaga is like paggawa ng research, paggawa ng thesis, pag-build up ng business, like yung from scratch na magre-research ka. Doon siya specifically nag-start, but wala akong idea on anong course ba, or like meron siguro akong idea, like alam ko na sales-related course yon, but I was full of fears at that time. Meron na talaga akong interest sa marketing since yun lagi yung mga ginagawa namin nung high school and at the same time nung college. So kapag gumagawa kami ng mga business plan, lagi kami yung naging best in thesis, best in feasibility studies. Kaya medyo naligaw siya ng landas nung nag-accountancy ako.
So,
Pero
bakit
it started from
accountancy?
there. I don't know. Kasi siguro nung high school ako, wala kasi talaga ako dun wala ako sa time na parang I was asking myself, ano ba talaga yung gusto kong marating,
Yeah.
or ano talaga yung vision ko when it comes to my life. The plan before was to study, to graduate, to take the board exam, and then work. So wala kasi yung parang connotation sa mga Filipino before na, okay, before you pick a course or before you like niche down into something na gusto mong i-pursue in the future, walang magtatanong sa'yo na, okay, ano ba yung skills mo? Like, saan ka magaling? Mga strength mo? Ano yung mga na-enjoy mo? Like, they start presenting you different courses. So, it's more of like, parang naka-center lagi siya sa money and naka-center lagi siya sa parang, ano ba yung trend? But rarely lang yung magtatanong sa'yo na, Hannah, what do you really want? Like in 5 years. Siguro may nagtanong ng ganon, pero hindi masyadong nag-deep dive sa parang, is this something that you really want? Parang wala ako dun sa focus na yon before nung pumipili ako ng course na, is this something that I really want to do in the next 5 to 10 years? Kaya yung pag-pick ko ng course is, okay, kung ano yung kung ano yung medyo madali sa akin nung high school and kung ano yung magaling ako at that time sa based on grading system. So yun yung pinili ko.
The reason why I asked that, because I've also had other people on the podcast, and it's very interesting how a lot of us took up courses that are so unrelated to what we're doing now. And what we figured out is that a lot of us are like that. A lot of us take up courses that are not really the things that we want. Because number one, we were too young to know what we want. And number two, yun nga, parang the focus really is mostly on, kikita ka ba sa course na yan? Not necessarily like, is that something that you would really want to do? So I love that we're having this kind of conversation na right now, it's really more important to ask, what is it that you really want to do? And medyo loaded question din siya kasi especially when you're young, no, you don't really know. I'm pretty sure when you started figuring out na you wanted to do something with business strategy, parang it's good that you also experienced something that you quote unquote didn't like. Kasi how would you know if you didn't like it, if you didn't experience?
Exactly.
So in a way, buti na lang din na experience natin yun. Back then, did you ever envision yourself na you're gonna be where you are now?
Nung nasa corporate ako, I would always have this kind of desire na parang I just want to be a business owner. I just want to be a CEO of my own company. And back then, parang wala akong idea on how should I start or kung paano ko gagawin yun. Yung mga ideas ko before is like, how can I start a business? Like mga product-based business. Nag-try pa nga ako before ng parang yung fashion boutique or something na hindi naman siya nag-work. So, there's that na parang I don't really know what my vision will be in the next like 5 years or 10 years. Pero I know I have that kind of desire na I just wanna be in control. I just want to be in control of my time, my finances, and then there's freelancing na parang nagbigay ng opportunity na para makuha yung dalawang yun.
That makes so much sense. Kasi, again, yun nga, when we're younger, we don't really know what we want. We just need to try what's available. And for you, it was freelancing until eventually you found out that thing that you really wanted to do, which is really cool. Okay, so we're going to transition na into the mindset since that's mostly what I want to ask you. Because we all know that we need to have the right mindset, and you know how some coaches and like some people on the internet, they keep on saying na, alam nyo, nasa mindset lang yan, ganyan. So parang naging buzzword na siya in a sense to the point na nobody really understands. Like, okay, pag sinabing mindset, what is it really? Is it just you talking to yourself? Parang ganon. And the reason why I invited you here, because I believe na you're like one of those people who in a way mastered this. Ang concept ko kasi ng mindset dati is, ano lang siya, positive thinking, ganyan. Yun
Yeah.
yung iniisip ko pag sinabi na, oh, you just need to have a good mindset. And I feel like I came into that point na medyo naging toxic na yung positive thinking. Kasi when something
Yeah.
goes wrong, I just say, hindi, wala lang yan. Kailangan ko lang mag-positive thinking. And syempre, parang in a way, parang nagsisinungaling ka na din sa sarili mo, di ba? And then, I remember you recommended this mastermind to me. And then, lahat ng alam ko tungkol sa mindset, medyo na-challenge. And I really enjoyed learning that. I feel like you've been doing that for a long time. So, maybe you can share with us like your journey with figuring out this whole mindset thing and what drew you to really figure it out.
Okay, so it really started nung nag-start pa lang talaga ako as a freelancer, as a social media manager. Kasi I was having different kind of limiting beliefs in my business, in myself as a service provider. Imagine there's a huge competition in the industry and I was always thinking na like, how can I stand out? How can I be seen by my dream client? So doon talaga nag-start. I really want to grow my business. I really want to scale my business. But at the end of the day, I want to do it in a way na parang holistic siya. In a way na hindi isa-sacrifice yung health ko, yung well-being, all those things. So that's the time na parang nahanap yung mastermind na yon on like they're teaching about mindset. They're teaching about like different strategies on how you can reprogram your thoughts, you can reprogram your beliefs in order for you to be more successful or to be successful in everything that you do. So, doon siya talaga nag-start sa mastermind na yun. And it really changed the game for my business. Kasi whenever we do something, either for business or for our careers, what we will always think first is like, kailangan magaling ako, kailangan I have all this kind of resources, kailangan graduate ako, or kailangan like Latin honors ako in order for me to be successful. And then in that mastermind, parang yun din, like parang nag-break down yung beliefs ko when it comes to mindset. Parang hindi siya trigger in a negative way, but it challenges me to really look in a positive perspective na, hey, you just need to be you if you want to be successful. You just need to believe in yourself, to see yourself in a different way na parang ikaw lang yung competition and not thinking about the other people, other service provider or anything. So for me, parang I just wanted to increase my vibration para ma-motivate ako, para ma-inspire ako to show up. But it's really more than that. Mindset is like questioning all the beliefs that you have. Mindset is like always digging deep dun sa mga thoughts that you're having in your business and some sort of like have a solution for that or change your belief around that. So yun for me yung start talaga on why I got really interested on the topic of mindset. And it's truly transformational kasi whenever I work on myself when it comes to mindset, na-apply ko siya like na-apply ko siya sa business, na-apply ko siya sa clients, and then na-apply ko rin siya sa mga mentees ko when they are also experiencing the same thing. So, ayun siya, dun siya nag-start talaga.
Okay, I feel like you opened a can of worms kasi ang dami kong gustong itanong. Pero sige, let's
Go.
go back to the concept that you mentioned na reprogramming your thoughts. I wanted to focus on that. Number one, what exactly you mean by reprogramming your thoughts. And number two, I like your concept of mindset better or parang the way you're explaining it. I would say it's more proactive. Akala natin dati pa quote-quote lang siya.
Yeah.
When you're not proactive, you're not addressing the reason. Parang you just shrugged it and swept it under the rug, as opposed to what you're saying, like the concept that you're saying now, reprogramming your thoughts. That feels like a more proactive way of doing things. So can you expound on that?
Okay, for example, you're a freelancer, you wanted to get clients, you wanted to scale your business, yung reprogramming your thoughts, it will really start from knowing what you really want. Okay, what does like success mean for me as a freelancer? So kung sinabi kong mag-grow ako, kung sinabi kong mag-scale yung business ko, super specific numbers, how much, yung effort, anong effort yung kailangan mong gawin doon, and ano yung vision mo for the business. So when you say mindset programming, papasok siya kapag nandun ka na sa game. Hindi siya like papasok yung mindset like when you started na okay, kaya ko to, I just need to do all those things, I just need to be motivated. It does not start from there. The mindset thing starts when you actually implement, when you actually execute things in your life and in your business. Example, okay, what you mentioned earlier, tinatamad ako. Kahit anong gawin kong pilit, hindi ako makapag-show up, hindi ako makapag-workout, or I cannot do something in my business just because I feel lazy. I feel like not doing anything. So, doon sa mindset programming, you need to ask yourself, why? Why do you feel this kind of emotions? Check your body. Am I feeling something in my body? Meron bang masakit or something? Check your mindset. Ano yung mga thoughts or beliefs na nagra-run inside your mind? It can be like, okay, tinatamad akong mag-show up kasi I saw a service provider yesterday. She's nailing it. And because of that, parang kino-compare ko yung sarili ko na, pareho lang kami ng journey pero nando na siya. It can be as that. And then what you're gonna do is to reprogram your thoughts. Lahat ng thoughts na nagra-run in that specific thing na nangyayari sa'yo, like let's say today, drop it down in a note and then reprogram it to something positive or something better na ano ba yung mga limiting beliefs na nagra-run through sa'yo kung bakit hindi ka kumikilos, kung bakit hindi ka nagtitake action. And then it can go something na parang like you mentioned earlier na hindi siya laging blind positivity na parang okay, I feel this way, just go lang, just continue on doing that. Sometimes you also need to give yourself some grace na okay, if I can't really show up today, if I'm feeling in a negative way or parang medyo blue or doom yung day, give yourself some grace to rest and give yourself some timeline. Okay, I just need to give myself one day to actually rest, to rest my brain, to rest my body, and then tomorrow I will start again. But as long as you don't counter the limiting beliefs that you're having inside your mind, kung bakit hindi ka nagte-take action, you will not know kung saan yun nanggagaling. It can be from your childhood, it can be from your co-service provider or anything. And yung masasabi ko lang is, ikaw lang makakaalam kung saan galing yun. And you need to counter those thoughts immediately. So, hindi rin siya like yung parang agad-agad, in a snap of a finger na okay, inupuan ko siya, tinake down notes ko siya, and then mawawala siya sa isang iglap. So, sometimes, it really will take you some time to work it out. And it's okay. It's okay. Hindi siya agad-agad. Sometimes yung ibang tao mabilis nilang nare-reprogram yung thoughts nila, na mabilis nilang natatanggal yung mga ganong limiting beliefs in their mindset. And sometimes other people parang mas matagal, and that's okay. You just need to give yourself some grace to work on yourself every single day.
I love that. I love everything that you said. I want to go back to what you said na parang the mindset starts when you start playing the game or when you actually start taking action. And I love that kasi a lot of us sort of have this notion, when you have the right mindset, everything would fall in place. I don't know where it came from. I think it also came from the manifesting culture na parang if i-imagine mo lang mangyayari yun. Pero deep inside, alam mo yun, ang tamad mo. So kahit anong imagine, hindi siya mangyayari, ganyan. So, ang ganda ng sinabi mo na you really have to dig deep. And if tinatamad ka or if you don't feel like showing up, you have to really figure out what is stopping you. I also like that you brought up yung mga limiting beliefs kasi a lot of us think na these limiting beliefs are facts when in fact, it's just your belief. It's just your idea, your perception of you. It's always subject to change and it's really up to you again, to what you said earlier. Ikaw lang makakapag-decide, ikaw lang yung makakaalam kung paano mo siya i-address, kung gaano katagal mo siya kailangang trabahuin. So this is very interesting. And I want to introduce a term you could also expound on. Is yung alignment nga with the situation that you shared earlier. Parang you have to have the right mindset coupled with the action. That's when things would most likely start working for you. And I feel like alignment is a big part of that. Your action should align with the way you see things. Or like, if for example, you want nga 6 figures, but you're not doing anything, like what you want and your action are not aligned. So how would you expect that to happen. So maybe you
Yeah.
could share your thoughts on that also.
When it comes to like having alignment in your actions, like my mentor Gary would always cite this like an intentional action. So the actions, it's not enough for you to say that, okay, I know what I want, I'm taking action. It should also have like alignment. You should also take action from intentional action. So what does it mean from that? So no matter how hard you work for your business, no matter how many strategies, how many techniques you're implementing, if you don't feel aligned, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, it's not gonna work for you. So I don't know if you ever experience this in your business when everything feels easy, everything feels like seamless, yung parang super enjoy mo lang, and then that's when everything will start to work for you. So that's alignment. That's like taking intentional action for your business, not forcing yourself to do the things that you don't want, not pressuring yourself to actually do the work that you don't even enjoy doing. So yung alignment for me is like finding things that you enjoy that will still help you achieve your goal. So ano ba yung mga bagay na na-enjoy mo when it comes to showing up, when it comes to creating content, when it comes to having conversations with your leads? Ano yung mga ways na you can start taking action na na-enjoy mo, na feels good to you as a business owner, and start taking action from that. Kasi sometimes we fail to see things in business and life na parang there's this connotation na it's just a one-way street. Na parang there is just one solution to be successful, one solution to grow or scale your business. But the truth is, yung best strategy na you can implement in order for you to get that success for your business and for your life, that is something, or that should be something that you enjoy, na madali siyang gawin. Na actually hindi siya madaling gawin, but since nai-enjoy mo siya, mas madali siyang gawin kaysa dun sa ibang mga ways na pinapresent sa'yo. So that for me is alignment. When you enjoy things, when everything feels seamless, na hindi mo pino-force or pinipressure yung sarili mo. And of course, you still need to go out of your comfort zone. But you can always go out of your comfort zone and enjoy the things that you're doing.
Yeah, the way I see it, it's really a balance of both.
Yeah.
That you have to find the sweet spot of the things that you enjoy doing. And at the same time, you also have to challenge yourself to explore what's out there and figure out the things that you do not enjoy so much. Because again, yun nga, if you aim for bigger things, you really have to do both things. And I guess what Hannah is trying to come at is if you find a certain task, a certain activity more enjoyable than the rest, you can focus on that. That doesn't mean hindi ka nagagawa ng anything that doesn't give you joy or doesn't,
Yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
feel easy. It's just like you allot more energy, you allot more effort on doing the things that you love most. And then the remaining energy, or, like if you still have time to do the things that you don't like doing the most, but the intention is still there. Like the intention to do better, the intention to grow your business or whatever your intention is. I think another term is also being introduced, yung intentional nga. Yan din, nagiging buzzword na din siya na parang, okay, oh my gosh, ano ba tong intentional? But okay, in my point of view, when I say intentional work, it's when you have a clear idea of what the outcome is, in the sense na you know what you want to do, you know what you want to happen. So you are setting the intention, or like you're putting it out there, you're doing the work that is aligned to what you want to happen. So for me, that's the easiest way for me to explain it.
You just need to know what you want and then take intentional actions from that. So yung parang intentional action that you're doing should be related on the things that you want to achieve.
Yeah. Okay. So a while ago, you mentioned na November 21 or 22 when you transitioned
2021.
2021.
Oh, the full-time freelancing.
Yeah. So last
Yeah.
year you transitioned, and then I clearly remember your story. We are part of this program, and then we would always update each other about each other's wins. And I could remember you were always sharing with us, okay, I'm gonna hop on this call, pero hindi natuloy, hindi na close. And then, I hopped in another call, pero hindi na naman nag-close. And then one day, you just updated everybody. Oh my gosh, I closed a deal that is worth $1,899. And that was one of your first clients, correct?
Yeah.
Can you share with us like what was going on? I feel like that is such a good example of having the right mindset, having
Yeah.
the right, like putting intentional work. Kasi parang if I were Hannah and I've been having all these rejections, parang
parang ang hirap magpakita ulit. But,
Yeah.
but Hannah is different. So, she still showed up, and then that day that she showed up, she closed a deal that's worth $1,899, you guys, not pesos. So, do you want to share with us, like, okay, what was going on in your head while those things were happening, and what did you do to, like, not get messed up? Kasi kung ako yun, I'd be like, oh my God, I'll never show up again.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really like a journey. Yung na-close ko yon, it's like siguro magwa 1 year na ako sa freelancing. Tapos parang, oh my God, wala pa rin ako naka-close. Parang show up ko ng show up, ganyan-ganyan. Tinatry ko yung mga iba't ibang strategies, tinatry ko yung iba't ibang techniques ng mga business coaches ko. And then, there's a time in my business na I was just getting a lot of rejections. Like, whenever I conversed with leads, it's either hindi nila afford or hindi nila kailangan or something. Sobrang daming rejections from that time. And I'm the type of person na madaling magsawa in a sense, na parang pag ayaw mo sa akin, edi ayaw ko din sa'yo. I'm not the type of person na who will chase you or parang ipagsisiksikan ko yung sarili ko sa'yo. Ganon. So, I'm the type of person na pag napagod ako, wala na akong pakialam or anything. So, ganun yung nangyari sa akin. I've been working in my freelancing business for almost a year na, and then wala pa akong nako-close ng client. Siguro yung tipping point nung career ko na, oh my God, everything is not working. Nag-show up ako, nagli-legion ako, like, fuck this. Parang ganon. Yun na lang yung sinabi ko. Like, I'll just do whatever I want. I-enjoy ko na lang yung process. And then that's the time na nag-show up ako every single day na may strategy siya, pero I'm not using specific strategies from business coaches. Yung ginagawa ko doon is like, what really feels aligned to me that day. That's what I'm gonna post. What really feels aligned to my business, that's what I'm gonna post. And then I'm gonna start attracting the people that I wanna work with. Kasi nandun nga ako sa point na, okay, I was niching down na business coaches, life coaches, and then super, super, super clear na mga idea clients. And then parang there's a time in my business nga na I really felt tired. Parang I was tired of rejections. And then that's the time na, oh, if this is not working, then I will just make my own rules. I will just define my own dream client and I will attract them in my content. So yun yung nangyari. I started showing up in a strategy na aligned sa akin. Parang nag-stop ako on thinking about like what would other people say, what would my coach say. Like I stopped all those things and then just showing up as myself, like just showing up as my personality. And that's the time na nagkaroon ako ng premium client. And then nagkaroon pa ako nun na like, oh my God, parang yun lang pala yung kailangan kong gawin. Like, I just need to enjoy this thing. I just need to show up as myself. I don't need to implement all those kind of strategies and then mag-work na siya. So yun yung ginawa ko. Like, instead of giving up or instead of stopping to show up, figure out ko, ano ba talaga yung gusto kong gawin? What do I really enjoy? What do I really believe in? What do I value when it comes to business? And then start sharing all those things. And that's how I attracted my dream client. And then during that call, it's really a funny story na parang I wasn't really expecting to close that deal. Kasi parang sabi ko, okay, mag-hop lang ako sa call kasi baka same na naman to ng mga calls ko na rejected or baka hindi naman to ma-close. So, I was just really explaining my services. Ina-enjoy ko lang yung process. Tapos, medyo may time pa doon na nagkamali pa ako ng pricing. It wasn't really 1,899 at that time. Hindi ko matandaan kung ano yung pricing ko. So, I just name it na parang, okay, it's $1,899 per month for a 3 months contract. And then I was having that yung parang confidence na I'm not gonna work for 30 days or for 2 months. It's 3 months. Yung siguro na feel din ng client na yun yung conviction ko on how I'm gonna serve her. And then right after the call, ayun, like nag-decide siya na okay, let's do it. And then siguro after 1 week ko pa na-realize na titingnan ko nga yung signature offer ko and then pagtingin ko, oh shit, 1,400 lang pala yun. 1,499 lang pala. Pero ayun, like tinuloy ko na siya kasi sabi ko it's worth it din naman since I'm gonna do my best to serve this client.
Every time I hear that story, kinikilabutan pa rin ako kasi you just decided it really came from apart from you listening to what it is that you really want and you not taking any more shit from anything else in the world, it was just you deciding, this is it. This is my price. If you don't want to sign up with this price, it's okay. If you do want to sign up with this price, then let's do it. And sometimes it's just all that we need. You have the experience, you have the right guidance from your coaches, and you did plant the seeds. Parang ang kulang na lang talaga dun sa all the intentional actions that you have set before pa. And all that was left to do was for you to believe in yourself. Ganun lang pala yun. I mean, it
Yeah,
sounds so
powerful.
much, yeah, it sounds so much easier said than done. Once you start to master and once you start to really get to know yourself and set boundaries for yourself also, that's when the universe would start, create these opportunities and send all these people who can afford your rates to you, because the universe is like, okay, that's my girl. She's ready now.
Yeah.
I also want to talk about this concept that you shared with us, because a lot of people are medyo skeptical dito sa ano na to, no, sa strategy mo or like sa story mo na to. But again, you guys, Hannah experienced a lot of rejections. What you shared with us is now that you have learned that and you have experienced that, your mindset now towards rejection is, I'm gonna be happy that this happened because this only means I'm gonna be headed towards the right person, or this rejection happened because I am meant to work with somebody better. So how did you develop that kind of mindset?
Siguro it's you really gotta love what you do para magkaroon ka nung ganong mindset. It's easier to give up. Like, it's easy to say like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore. I just want to go back to my 9 to 5. Like, this is not working for me. Para lang to sa mga taong magagaling, matatalino. It's easy to say those things. But if you really love what you're doing, if you really have that passion for your creative business, you're gonna fight for it no matter what. Kahit sobrang daming rejections or anything, kahit sobrang daming challenges or struggles na dumating sa business mo, if you're really in it in your business, if you really have the passion, you love what you're doing, you're not gonna give up. So I think it really came from having that kind of passion for my business na it's not just about money. It's about, I just want the freedom. I just want the freedom and fulfillment on what my business can give to me in the long run. So I was looking for a long-term result rather than a short-term result na parang, oh, ang hirap na ito ngayon. Di ko na kaya. I'm having so much rejections. Diniscount ko na yung service ko. Naka $499 na lang. Wala pa rin bumibili. So, it really goes down na you need to really have a passion. And you really need to see bigger things in a long-term perspective na, okay, I know I'm planting seeds, but where is this heading? So, yun, dun siguro siya nanggagaling. Dun sa passion in your business and the same time, dun sa long-term vision mo.
If you're in it for the long game, rejections are just like a tiny part of it.
Yeah.
You know what? Everything that we do, we always have to experience those little struggles. They don't have to be like big rejections or something. It could be like your client forgot to pay you, or I don't know, you got ghosted or something like that. Those tiny rejections are there to remind you, or parang siguro vibe check ng universe na, wait,
Yeah.
gusto mo pa ba to? Ganyan.
Yeah,
And it depends
exactly.
on how you react to it, right? Yeah. And that's actually one of my favorite things that I learned from your course. So I enrolled in Hannah's program. And apart from learning about all these strategies, I learned that what I apply every single day is this habit and having this kind of mindset that if something happens, you're headed towards the right direction. This is just a small bump. You've got a bigger road to go to. Acknowledge that the bump is there, but don't dwell on it too much. Like, okay, hi bump, you're there. I'm going
Yeah.
now. We're done.
Yeah.
Something
It's like a
that.
barrier. Like, it's a barrier for your business. Like, what I would always say to my mentees is like, kapag na-experience nyo na yan, like yung parang nasa testing season na kayo, kapag may mas sobrang daming barriers, that's it. That's the sign na you should keep going. That's the sign na parang, hey, don't give up kasi malapit ka na dun sa success. Malapit ka na dun sa journey mo. Kaya whenever my mentees experience those things, Tish knows this kapag nandun sa Discord, kapag meron silang mga like, yung mga breaking point, instead of dwelling upon it, actually, they celebrate it. Kasi like, they would message me like, oh my God, Hannah, may ganito akong, may ganito akong breakdown. Parang it means na, like, I'm in a testing season, na kapag nalagpasan ko to, like, there's that premium client. There's that success will come to my business. So parang don't treat it something na parang negative, but treat it as something na God or universe is testing me kung kaya ko ba talaga tong vision ko, kung kaya ko ba talaga yung goals ko. And then if I pass this season, then that's the time that I'm gonna harvest what I've worked for.
Yes, I love the term testing season. The universe has to know if you deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have this Discord group, right, where we share our
Mhm.
wins and we share our frustrations and everything. And I also just want to reiterate the harvest season doesn't always mean premium client. Sometimes it means more headspace, more peace
Yeah.
of mind. Because I also remember, like, in our Discord group, a lot of us are struggling with, like, mismatched opportunities. Like
Mhm.
sometimes you thought that the client is so awesome, and then in the middle of the contract, biglang, oh my gosh, why is she suddenly a terror client? And like for us, it's such a struggle because number one, we have to, of course, deliver. And number two, it's always gonna be, in a way, we also have to keep our reputation as service providers because our community and our industry is very small. And if you fuck up,
Yeah.
everyone's gonna know.
Everyone will know.
Yeah. So it's always gonna be like that. Most of us, when we are done with that testing season, whatever we decide, if we decide to power through with this client or if we decide to cut this client off, there's always like a harvest season at the end. So if you do decide to cut off a client, for most of us, like the way I see it in the Discord group, a lot of us end up having more space for better opportunities. Like nawalan ng client, pinalitan ng
Mataas.
mataas na
Mas mabait.
package and mas mabait and mas mindful sa boundaries, 'di ba? Or sometimes when some of us decides to power through with a client, what we learn from there or the harvesting that we're gonna do after is we get to be stronger with setting boundaries. We get to be more firm with our packages na, okay, I'm not gonna falter because you're giving me this attitude. I'm going to show you who the real boss. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, so parang whichever path or parang whichever bump is being presented, the harvest season looks different, but the harvest season will always come. So I think that's one of the favorite things that I love about acknowledging that there is this testing season and just hanging in there, whatever that looks like for you, if that means you power through or if that means you cut somebody off. And okay, so
Yeah.
this leads me to my next question. And I feel like a lot of people are wondering now, okay, so I just need to believe in myself. I just need to show up and all those things. And I know that this could be very overwhelming, especially if these concepts are new for the people who are listening. So, Hannah, if you are to give like one actionable step to people who are entirely new to this, what would that be?
That's really a great question. If you're gonna work on your mindset, here are the few things that I would suggest to you. First is again, you always need to know what you want. Yun talaga yung first step. You can't skip those part. And then if nandun ka sa stage ngayon na, okay, Hana, hindi ko pa talaga alam kung ano yung gusto ko, I don't even know what niche to choose, then start figuring things out, start trying things. And kasi most people, kapag nandun sila sa stage na, okay, wala akong clarity on what do I really want, anong niche, anong services, they feel stuck. And then I don't want you to stay in that position, but instead, jot down mo yung mga possible circumstances or possible services, possible niches na you can start actually trying out. In that sense, malalaman mo or magliles yung options mo and magna-narrow down yung road mo into like finding the things that you truly want. Like for example, in my own journey, hindi ko naman talaga alam na social media manager or being a social media strategist yung gusto ko in the long run. But ang ginawa ko doon is to start trying things out. Nag-try ako ng copywriting, graphic design, and then I figured out na those things are not really my passion. So, number one, know what you want, know your goal, know your vision, your long-term vision. And if you don't know it yet, start trying things out para malesen yung mga alternatives that you're having and to narrow down your road and figuring out what the goal is. And then yung second thing is you need to ask yourself, why? Why do you want this thing to happen? Or bakit mo ba to ginagawa? Yung mga bagay na to. Like what I always mention, you're not gonna give up easily if you have like a deeper meaning or mas malakas yung why mo in doing this kind of business or in pursuing the goals that you have in your life. So it can be like freedom, fulfillment, it can be for your family, it can be for yourself. Like start jotting those whys that relates to that specific goal. Para alam mo na parang okay, I feel like I wanted to give up. I feel like tinetest na naman ako. I feel like sobrang daming challenges, sobrang daming struggles. And then your why, yun yung kakapitan mo in order for you to still hold on and to continue what you're doing. Third thing is like expect that the journey will be hard. So how can you prepare for that? So it's not just about money again. It's not just about knowing your why, but you need to prepare for the battle. So merong mga different areas in your life that you need to prioritize: your mental health, your physical well-being, your emotional health, and your spirituality. Start doing things in those areas. So kapag dumating na yung challenge on that, it's easier for you to navigate those emotions, navigate the situation. What I would always say is like, to challenge yourself in different areas of your life para kapag dumating na yung testing season, mahirap siya pero you can always pass through it. You can always overcome those challenges kasi nasanay na yung muscle mo eh. Nasanay ka na dun sa ganong hardship or struggle. And then yung fourth is always bet on you and your dreams. Like some people may question it, your family, your friends, or even your co-freelancers, but don't let them dictate what you can do for yourself. Like what empire can you build in a year or months? Kasi whenever we are like, okay, I know what I want, I know why I want it. But sometimes we stop in our journey kasi there are so many voices in our surroundings, in our environment, but the only voice that you need to listen is yourself. Yeah, the only voice or the only vision that you need to focus is your own vision. Yun yung mga tips na pwede kong maibigay sa inyo in order for you to start your journey. So, hindi siya yung parang like, okay, anong strategy, anong technique. It really starts from there. Kasi kapag alam mo yung apat na bagay na yun, it's easier for you to navigate things. It's easier for you to run a business. It's hard, but it's manageable kapag na-train mo yung mindset mo on how to overcome those things, on how to juggle all those things while nandun ka sa testing season, and it's really easy for you to harvest what you work for. So, ayun siya.
Okay, I want to emphasize what you said in the fourth one. Now, when you bet on yourself and you know what you want, it's so much easier for you to go forward instead of like looking around. And the reason why I want to talk about that is because we are very exposed to other people's wins. You know, like people posting how much they earned in a month, how much they earned in a week. Sometimes people post about their travels, the new houses that they bought, the new cars that they bought, the new gadgets. And I'm talking about this because we see this a lot on TikTok. We see this a lot on Instagram. And most of us, we see those things. And instead of focusing on our initial goals, we tend to think, wait, I also need a new MacBook. Wait, I need a new car. And that is why it's always important to know these four things, because once you have these four things nailed down, or if at least, you know, like have more awareness about these four things, it's easier for you to shut everything out and focus on yourself. So if your goal is to just transition from a 20,000 salary to a 50,000 salary, that's all that you need to think about. It's okay if you don't want six figures yet. It's okay if you don't get a car yet. Just focusing on that and you'd be good to go. Because once you hit that, tuloy-tuloy na yan eh. You already have the mindset. You already set the intentional work. So if you could hit that small goal, then it's much easier for you to show up for the bigger goal. So we're about to wrap things up, and I'm just going to ask you like a few more questions. You've been talking a lot about mindset. You've mentioned about these mentors that you worked with, but is there something that you wish you knew before you started like getting into this path?
Siguro yung thought about mindset na you can be anything you want when you work hard for it. Not really hard when you do intentional action to make it happen. Siguro if I knew it sooner, I wouldn't really choose my previous career or something like that. Na parang kasi 'di ba yung connotation before is like pick a career, pick a profitable career na dapat doctor, accountant, anything like that. If I knew that specific thought before na parang I can also be successful in choosing what I really want and in choosing what I'm really passionate about, siguro mas early yung growth when it comes to my business, or early din yung pag-pursue nung sarili kong business. But yeah, pero everything happens for a reason naman siguro. That's why we're here.
Yeah,
Pero
for
if
sure.
I knew it sooner, siguro mas iba yung mga decisions that I have made from the past.
Siguro if we knew this concept sooner, nabawasan yung mga
Yeah.
self-limiting beliefs, yung mga self-pity, yung
Yeah.
mga seasons na we are running after things na we don't really want. Pero yun yung gusto ng mga tao. So akala natin yun na din yung gusto natin.
Yeah.
Pero again, like what you said, everything happens for a reason. Also, girl, you're so young. So if you knew this sooner, then mapag-iiwanan na kaming mga oldies. Oldies? So, okay. So we talked about mindset, and I really want to get your opinion about this because it's kind of sad to admit, or it's kind of frustrating also, but this mindset concept is sometimes being weaponized by other people na, like if you are going through a rough time, people would say na, mindset lang yan. Or if you cannot afford something, people would say, alam mo na sa mindset mo lang yan. Kung gusto mong i-afford, kaya mo yung i-afford when, like there's disconnect between like the quote unquote mindset and the reality. And I wanted to get your opinion about that. It could be like a very general opinion. It doesn't have to be like super specific. What are your thoughts about this? And how can we, in a way, educate people to, be more mindful about these kinds of statements who are using mindset in a more negative light, I would say.
Yeah, and I really agree with that because some people uses it parang nagiging parang nagiging weapon to other people na if you're feeling this way, you're weak, mindset mo lang yan. You just need to work on your mindset. But people don't really understand how to give more grace to other people, to other service provider. Because here's the thing, we all have different experiences and priorities. And if they're like using it like as a weapon na, kasi hindi ka makapag-invest sa ganitong program, mindset mo lang yan. It's just your money mindset. Or kung hindi mo afford yung course, kaya mo naman siyang i-afford. Like, different kasi yung mga experiences natin. Different din yung mga priorities natin. And then if you want someone to invest with you, if they really want to invest in you, they will. Alam mo yon, like darating talaga yung point na mag-invest sila sa'yo in time. They will invest in you when it's the right time, and you don't have to pressure them or to put the mindset card just because you want to sign them, or just because your beliefs or perceptions about a thing is different from them. So I think it's more of like having more grace to people and to really understand them on where they're coming from. Kasi hindi natin alam kung ano yung mga pinagdadaanan nila. And it's more than just mindset.
Yes, that is so true. I like what you said about, you don't have to pressure people to buy things from you, because if they want to buy from you, then you don't have to play the mindset game with them. Because
if they really want to invest with you, they will. They will make a way. They will find a way to afford you.
And it's their decision. I think like that you can afford anything mindset is a decision that you are worth me figuring out how I can afford this. And I brought this up because, well, sadly, sometimes it's happening in our industry. And for us people who are in the receiving end of this, I think it just pays to be more mindful about these offers as well, because we don't want to regret any decisions. Because again, we were talking earlier about alignment. So if giving out money doesn't feel aligned with you, then that's the mindset you're in, and that's the right mindset to be in, because there's a parang may misalignment doon. So yon.
Yeah. You would also feel it whenever you're investing. If you really want it, if you really need it, and you can afford it at the moment, you won't even hesitate. You will just gladly invest into that program. Or kung hindi mo man afford, either find a way or you will communicate it to that mentor or coach that, hey, the budget is tight right now, but I really want to work with you in the future. And you don't have to use the mindset card as a weapon. And then if someone uses that to you without even asking things, think about that. Magdalawang isip ka na.
We have to be smart also when we make these kinds of decisions. Anyway, so we're down to the second to the last question. And it's more of like a fill in the blanks question. So I want you to fill in the blank. Having the right mindset is all about blank.
Having the right mindset is all about having a huge belief in yourself.
Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, do you want to expound on that? Or parang mic drop moment na yun na?
Yun na yun. Like, you just need to believe in yourself and just bet on yourself and everything else will fall into place.
That is so true. And alam mo, parang ang dali niya kasing sabihin, pero sa totoo
Yeah.
lang, sobrang hirap niya talaga.
Sobrang
Lalo
hirap
na,
niya.
and to make this more actionable in a way for the listeners, be mindful about the things that you say to yourself. Kahit yung
Yeah.
mga pa-joke, yung parang, kunwari, nagta-type ka, tapos nagkamali ka, ay, ang bobo mo. Parang,
Yeah,
those moments. Kasi parang,
Yeah.
nagkamali ka lang, bobo ka na agad.
Yeah.
Parang you have to be kinder to yourself na, ay, ang tanga mo kasi. Yung mga ganong self-deprecating statements, parang be mindful of those things. And yeah, as much as possible, don't say it. If you don't trust you, if you don't believe in you, how will other people do that as well? Parang you always set the example on how you want other people to treat you and how you perceive yourself also. So yes, yun na
yourself
yun.
is gonna be your number one fan. Always.
Yes. Yes. So, be kind. Anyway, okay, so we're down to the last question. So my last question is, if there's something that people should know about being an independent creative, what should it be?
Oh, just one thing.
Okay, more than, if you want. If there's more, but okay. Mention everything.
Prepare. Yung first one is prepare on what I mentioned earlier, dun sa 4 things. Second is don't wait for opportunities. I always hear this a lot of times na parang, oh, I love that she's taking so much opportunities. Kapag may dumating, tinatanggap agad niya. When you want to be an independent creative, you need to know how to create your own opportunities for yourself. And then yung third is it will be tough, but you should be tougher. So things will always get better kapag nasanay ka. Ito yung like laging kong sinasabi sa sarili ko. Like sometimes your biggest fears can be your comfort zone next month. Like sometimes kung nahihirapan ka ngayon sa isang bagay, next month, 3 months, 5 months, madali na yan sa'yo. You just need to keep going and makaka-arrive ka rin sa ganong situation. And then yung last is you will never arrive in your destination. You gotta love what you do to thrive and stay in the game. Kung meron ka mang mga goals, like, hindi ka like dadating dun sa point na, okay, this is it, I'm done. There's always gonna be like a next level stage na you're still gonna pursue. You're still gonna find growth in everything that you do for your business or for your life.
So good. Okay, I love it. I can't even choose a favorite. Wait, okay. I think I know na my favorite. It's gonna be tough for sure. It's gonna be tough, but you have to be tougher. You really have to have the grit to keep moving forward. Because it may sound a bit discouraging kasi we're alone. Technically, we're alone. And once you get used to it, you'll get better at it. It doesn't get better overnight. But you just get better at managing it, I would say. Yeah. Okay, so I super love this session and I'm so happy that I invited you and that the people had the chance to, learn from you. So if people want to be in your space even more, if people want to connect with you, pick your brain, where should we let them go? Maybe you also have programs that you want them to try out.
You can follow me on Instagram at Hamana Creations for done-for-you services or lead gen services. And then up level with Hannah if you're interested in my mentorship. And then if you would like to know more about what kind of services I offer, you can directly follow me on those social media accounts and everything is posted there.
Okay, so if you didn't catch any of that, don't worry. I'm going to put everything in the show notes so that you can check it out for yourself later. And thank you again so much, Hannah, for giving us your time and sharing with us your wisdom. We're going to be back for more hot tea. This afternoon was like a lot of hot tea for me. So I hope you enjoyed that. And we'll see you again next time. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks again for listening to Spill the Creativity podcast. If you like this episode, I would really appreciate it if you can give me a 5-star rating on Spotify and a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. Or you can also take a screenshot and tag me on Instagram at Spill the Creativity podcast, and you can also try the special filters if you want. Thanks again for listening to this episode, and make sure to catch fresh drops every Thursday morning. Bye!